Season 3 was a fun one.
Can't believe they let me do that.
My hands were shaking. I was so nervous.
I have used that on a few guys.
That was a pretty difficult scene, I'm not gonna lie.
That's why that scene is hilarious.
Like, come on, be a better friend.
Let's take a look.
Chapter 1.
Susie, do you copy?
Chapter 2, the mall rats.
Chapter 3, the case of the missing lifeguard.
Chapter 4, the sauna.
Chapter 5, the flame.
Chapter 6, E Plebis Uno. Chapter 7, the bite.
Chapter 8, the Battle of Starcourt.
We're gonna watch Chapter 1. Susie, do you copy?
Your children are here.
It was definitely in my audition for the show, and definitely one of the first things I ever filmed. Trying to decide how I was gonna hold my hands. Would my character be like leaned in and collapsed or more upright? I thought about it so hard. My hands were shaking. I was so nervous.
It's sort of like right on pitch perfect for the reference of this season. Fast Times or Breakfast Club. You know, season 2 is a lot of Goonies kind of energy for me. A little bit more like off the wall, a little wackier.
Why would somebody use that phrase?
Hey, Dingus, you're...
Now I can imagine saying it myself. I was just working on my lines for this season, and I had that reaction to another line where I was like, how am I gonna do this?
So for this one, it was me and Priya and Gayton and Maya, and it was kind of like our thing. This felt like it was the real beginning of a new chapter, and just kind of watching it brings me back.
You are 046, Popeye.
Yeah, I can count.
You know that means you suck.
Yep.
He was there for my last audition for the show. It was a chemistry read. He just was rooting for me to succeed. He's an incredible scene partner. Anybody could be funny acting with him. Anybody could be real acting with him. He throws you the ball so well. So I give him all the credit. If I could go back and tell myself anything, it would be like, you can relax. This space has you.
Karen leaves the house. I always joke that Karen never left the house. She delivered a casserole season 1 and went to a funeral. And here we are, she's at the pool.
She's coming down.
She's chugging that Coke. She's got her full face of makeup on. We have the custom designed swimsuit that I love, the pearls, the necklace. All the ladies are waiting for Hot Billy to come out. Little do they know that he's looking for me, for Karen. I'm not hiding it. Maybe I turned my wedding ring around, I don't know. I think I kept it on. There he is, Dacre. I mean, he looks quite attractive, as we all know. Oh, and that shot, I remember we shot that, the Duffer said, oh, this like butterfly or bug just like flew through the frame, and they loved that. It was perfect timing. I remember they came up to me and said that. We were just having so much fun, and all these kids who were just thrilled to be there. The Duffers were having a great time. I remember them eating watermelon, and it was just fun. I mean, it was like being at summer camp for those scenes.
Hey, Lourdes!
This poor kid. But that was the 80s. The 80s, you know, people just said things. I mean, people called me Nestle Crunch because I had terrible acne, right? Because my face looked like the back of a Nestle Crunch bar. And here we are, Billy, and I'm posing, and I'm like, yep, there I am. So I never really learned how to swim. I grew up in the Bronx going under fire hydrants, and my parents didn't take me for lessons, and they were like, you're gonna be doing the backstroke. And I wanted to look attractive, not just splashing around. And so I had to take swimming lessons to learn how to do the backstroke. Which was good. Everyone should learn to swim. My husband came up with a really good idea. He goes, look, you don't look so good doing the backstroke. Because I was just learning. So he ordered like a little floaty and cut a little piece, and he put it in the back of my bathing suit. And so it kept me up a little bit, courtesy of my lovely husband. Little movie magic. Oh yeah, this is the montage of Karen. And I love that they showed this because, putting on a whole 80s look is time consuming. You gotta blow out your hair, you gotta get that 3-part eyeshadow shape going. She's got the perfume. She's thinking she should take her wedding ring off. It's bad. She takes it off. She's ready to go. She's gonna leave. And then she sees Ted. So this is interesting. Originally, it was just Ted in the chair. I said, I think if you put baby Holly there, it's gonna hit her. She's gonna think, oh, this is my family. I'm not gonna do this to my family. It's very poignant. She realizes she can't go.
Break out your 80s print shirt and your high-waisted shorts.
This is from Stranger Things 3, Chapter 2, The Mall Rats.
Is she here?
Is who here?
Henderson.
Look at Gaten. Oh, man.
This is where Dustin and Steve are introduced back together. We came up with that handshake, I think like 20 minutes before we did that shot, and that was really fun.
Whoever picked this music deserves an award.
How many children are you friends with?
Great read, Maya.
No way. Hotter than Phoebe Cates? No.
Brilliant, too, and she doesn't even care that my real pearls are still coming in. What I love so much is the aesthetic shift. Steve spends the whole season dressed like this, and it is ridiculous and hilarious, and I'm so glad that they kept going with the Dustin and Steve dynamic.
It was fun to have like a second chance to work with Gaten. We had this kind of comfortability with each other. Also a funny thing to explore that this guy is now 7 years his junior. What that says about Steve kind of shines a new light on him.
I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be bad. But you can fix this. It's just one little mistake.
This was fun.
I've made hundreds, thousands. Max has dumped me 5 times. But what have I done? Huh? Have I despaired? No. I practiced this. I've won her back every single freaking time. When I did that, I was like, this was the time that I won her back. So I was like, intentionally doing it, individually bringing my hands together, bringing it back to that like one time, like, How? I'll show you. Come on. I'd say his most nerdiest year was season 3, though. He was like confident, but he still didn't know how to deal with a girl. He's got his heart like punched, got knocked out a couple times, got to push through it, got to get through it.
Isn't this a nice surprise?
I can't believe they let me do that.
What are you doing here?
Shopping.
Man, I haven't watched season 3 in so long.
What's wrong with you?
What is she, your little pet?
Yeah.
Am I your pet?
What? No.
Season 3 was a fun one. For the first half of the season, the stakes are maybe a little bit lower. It's just kids' summer 80s fun.
You said Nana was sick.
She is.
The worst liars of all time.
She's super sick. That's why we're here, actually.
Yeah, we're shopping for her, for Nana.
For Nana.
I remember for Nana.
Did the boys tell you about Fernana?
We kept laughing at Caleb saying, for Nana.
Caleb will just sometimes make me break character. He makes me laugh so much.
He's like, is she gonna throw me against this wall? That's actually funny though, because 11 could beat Mike's ass. Mike's like, yo. And Lucas is terrified of Max as well. That's why that scene is hilarious.
I dump your ass. I have used that on a few guys. I love that she doesn't need her superpowers to tell him, like, no, this isn't okay. This is not what I believe in. She's as cold as ice. Max has helped her find her voice.
I just remember being super excited. Max and Elle were kind of getting along. I didn't know it was gonna be like this iconic moment.
You don't officially know that the line was gonna pop, but I did remember thinking that it was really funny reading it.
Bitchin' and I dump your ass and mouth breather. Those one-liners I knew were gonna stick.
Okay, this is Stranger Things 3, Chapter 3, The Case of the Missing Lifeguard. And this is Will and Mike's argument.
Yo, come on.
Okay, what is this? This scene and the rain in the back, it's so intense.
Problem, you guys are never in the mood anymore. You're ruining our party. That's not true.
That's sad that Mike is like that, because he comes around in the end. He still wants to play games in D&D.
I just remember that whole scene and the rain and being freezing. Oh, perfection. Am I you don't like girls?
Damn.
Oh, stab in the chest for that kid.
That look on sort of both their faces is sort of like, well, he didn't mean for it to come out like that.
I mean, Mike, like, come on, be a better friend.
We're just gonna sit in my basement all day and play games for the rest of our lives? Yeah. Yes, I did.
It was hard for that little kid.
Well, don't go out, it's raining. I remember they had to do it a few times and dry Noah off.
He was like such a great friend to him in season 2, and then I don't know what happened here.
That was when he was sort of, his rebellious phase.
Now we're about to watch a scene from Stranger Things 3,
Chapter 4.
The sauna test.
This was kind of like my first action scene that I've ever done, and I was really excited to do it.
Her comedic timing and tone is just incredible.
Our group is such an odd blend of characters. It's really fun.
This is like the beginning of Steve and Robin's friendship, maybe even before they know how deep it's gonna go. That was such a tight scroll space. That blew my mind that she got in there.
Baby! Oh my God, baby, what happened?
Get me a phone.
Baby.
Get me a goddamn phone!
Oh, I remember doing that. I thought that was gonna be harder than what it actually was, but it wasn't that bad. I was so hot in that costume. Like, oh my gosh. I literally remember how the knee pads and the arm pads and the helmet and stuff, I remember how that feels on me. Like every time I rapped shooting, I would slip those knee pads down and my knees would be so sweaty. Honestly, season 3 and shooting with Gay and Maya and Joe, that was such a fun season. Like I really enjoyed myself.
That's like such the appeal of this show, I think, is it kind of has a little something for everyone to enjoy.
Free ice cream for life.
This show is so violent. I forget all the time.
What the hell, you piece of shit?
It was interesting because in season 2, their relationship was so strained, and I think Max was so affected by Billy. In season 3, Max is having so much fun, and you see her really coming out of her shell a lot. Then, of course, Billy becomes possessed and forces himself back in the narrative. Max has no choice but to face it head on again, and she's kind of forced to care about him, too, and his safety in a way. A lot of confusion going on, but also happening within a matter of days. That's kind of more what season 4 dealt with, and just like coping with that and processing all of it.
This is from chapter 5, The Flayed.
This is where we find ourselves in quite the predicament in an underground secret Russian base, which is bonkers to say. And I loved filming there. So I hope you guys like rewatching this part.
Oh, I remember this in that lab.
Wow, I haven't watched this in so long. This is so fun to get to see this.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I love doing this. Hi-ya!
We call this the Death Star because it felt very much the Scooby-Doo vibes.
The elevator was really that small, so I really was struggling trying to get under there.
I scraped my knees so bad doing that.
That was a pretty difficult scene, I'm not gonna lie.
It's just like ridiculous, the stuff that we're doing. We're in like a Russian mall base.
Jesus Christ.
It didn't glow though. It was just like green slime.
Holy mother of God. Yeah, I remember that one.
The Russian lab stuff was an incredible set to work in. You just believed it when you were inside of it. It was like you were there, an imaginary universe that you're in. And also, it was basically fully air conditioned 100% of the year. Everyone was really jealous of us.
How's your Russian? It's time to start chapter 6.
E plebis unum.
And one extra large.
Season 3, it was very much this buddy relationship here of always going at it. Two guys who each think they're the smartest person in the room and have zero patience for the other.
So he can stop selling us that crap.
You know, this season was the first season where I started speaking Russian, and that was really exciting. Elena Baranova, my coach, also coached Gary Oldman in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Incredible dialect and language coach. You know, me being able to do this is very much a credit to her and how she taught me.
Нет вишни, нет уговора.
He says, no cherry, no deal. This is just such an example of like great 80s comedy here.
I'm just giving him an opportunity to get his own. Sherry!
Great. So funny. David's such an amazing comedic actor. He really knows how to play the different levels of comedy, and he often would make me laugh. And, you know, him infusing the real emotion through all of that was really fun to play against.
The source.
Where, Elle? Where are you?
I miss when Max was cognitive. I remember this.
Elle, we found it. Get out of there. Get out!
That kind of fooling effect is a really big, like, rig. The only way I could describe it is like a baby bouncer, but then I spun backwards, and so I would do really big flips. So I could only do it for like a few seconds at a time because I would literally vomit. Mike?
He can't hear you. You shouldn't have looked for him.
The void is a space that Eleven's able to access someone's mind, and this is kind of her safe space. This is where no one can really find her or know that she's there. So to learn that it's a trap and that that's just what the Mind Flayer wanted me to do is kind of eerie, and she doesn't even feel safe in her own skin.
We are going to end everyone.
Now we're gonna get into chapter 7, The Bite.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, get away from the window.
Oh, this is cool.
What's gonna happen?
That, like, takes so long to film.
This is the cabin, right? Yeah. I remember this.
It's close.
I think this scene took quite a few days to piece together. It's a lot of like figuring out moving pieces, you know, especially when there's so many actors in like one space.
The window, everyone looked to the window, so it's a lot of like, you're like, wait, what are we looking for?
It's just a bit of a dance and kind of just figuring out, and there's like a million shots that you have to get to piece together. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's always just hard, like, trying to imagine what these things look like, you know.
But again, it's really fun to have those practical effects come in. And this was a very physical scene, I think, for all of us. You know, we're all like running around and doing different things, so it was a lot of coordinating and shooting this, shooting this gun.
They had a crew member with like a vest on that had like a rubber arm that he could control that was strapped to him. I remember that.
Well, I think there might have been like other tentacle-y things going on just for reference, but yeah, some of it's, you know, some of it's imagined, some of it's like kind of, you know, there in your face.
Look, he doesn't even know this girl.
For this scene specifically, we're just being prepared personally, really deeply prepared. Doing a rehearsal with the brothers before the shooting day was really helpful. I think we rehearsed it on a Friday and shot it on a Monday.
It shocked me to my core, but I like you. I really like you, but I'm not like your other friends, and I'm not like Nancy Wheeler.
Robin, that's exactly why I like you. Working on set can be stressful, and there's a lot of different things going on. And it can be really great when you have something like this to just set everything aside, no matter what's going on in your personal life, and to just pour yourself into this one day, let all your walls down, just be in the moment with the other person.
Mrs. Click?
Tammy Thompson. I wanted her to look at me.
I feel like we had a successful relationship in that way, me and Maya. I feel like this was a real turning point, maybe, in the relationship in the show, but also me and her in real life. Just kind of the respect that we have for each other, and she's a good friend and a very talented actress.
And you didn't even like her, and I would go home and just scream into my pillow.
Tammy Thompson's a girl.
Steve.
It's very difficult to kind of appreciate it, but being able to look back now with a little more time in between it, it's a fun scene to watch and fun to watch your friend do so well.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I think Alexi is really the character who teaches Murray to be more pro-people. Alexi helps Murray to sort of find his humanity.
Ой, Фэй. Предатель.
One of the most extreme times of when fans came at me was the fact that I went to get corn dogs. Why did you go and get those corn dogs and let Alexi die? I wonder if people would have gotten mad at Alexi if he went and got corn dogs and I was the one who got shot and killed. That's one of those questions that keeps me up at night. The lesson that Alexi teaches Murray in how they communicate and then also in his death, the silver lining of grief, it can really remind you of your humanity and how much you care about people and wake you up to your own capacity to love.
I just left for a minute for a corn dog, a stupid corn dog.
This is a scene from Chapter 8, Battle of Starcourt.
Okay, this is what Alexi called the hub. Now, the hub takes... I'm really loving the Bruce Willis look, I gotta say. Murray really meets his match here.
What, you're just gonna waltz in there like it's Commie Disneyland or something?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Erica Sinclair, who are you?
Murray, he's no longer the smartest person in the room. She is.
Man, I'm not trying to tell you how to do things. I was talking to my mom in the trailer, and I was like, I really don't want to hurt his feelings. And she was like, he's an actor. I'm sure his feelings won't get hurt. You do what this man tells you, you're all gonna die.
I'm sorry, why is this 4-year-old speaking to me?
I'm 10, you bald bastard.
It's something to get called a bald bastard by a small child. I think he's just annoyed. I don't think a child's going to affect Murray's self-esteem. There's bigger things at hand than our self-esteem. She's an obstacle, but then, he has to admit that she's right.
Susie!
Dusty Bun? Dusty Bun. I want to hear it.
Not right now.
Well, we all knew that Gaten had the voice of an angel, and I think the Duffers were trying in some way to fit that in because it's like kind of too funny not to have that character have an amazing voice.
I remember they would just joke, like, we're gonna get you to sing in the show. I'm like, they did.
Shit. Oh my God. This is great.
Look at what you see.
Gabby is so good in this scene because Gabby was also a Broadway kid. I feel like it wouldn't have worked without someone as electric as Gabby, and it works really, really well. So funny. Stakes are so high for something so silly.
I love that this is like canon, that Dustin has like an amazing voice.
Oh no. This song will forever be the bane of my existence. Now people will just like walk past me and just play it at me. I never know how to like react other than being like, it feels like it was designed fully to fuck with me.
Gosh, I miss you, Dusty Bun.
I miss you too, Susie Boo.
What's interesting about this scene, we all filmed this separately. Me and Noah filmed this separately from Dacre and Millie. Sadie and Finn, separate days. And that mind flayer was not even there. It was just a silver ball, just up and down. We just had to keep throwing at it. This scene was crazy. The score on this show is amazing. The way they're able to make this scene stand out, the level of emotion and pain that Dacre did an amazing job here. Even Max watching, crazy.
This was my favorite day ever. This is the most fun I've ever had.
Classic.
Everyone has to be on in that moment.
Oh my God, that became a meme.
It looks really different when they add all the special effects.
Ugh, I cannot even look at it.
That's fucked.